to engineer because everybody seems to be in regards to engineering. I'm not. Mr. Robson, engineer, I need to ask you a question. How long have you been in the engineering firm for Sauk Village? Sir?
57 years.
57 years, and our water wells are been contaminated, one shut down, 2 of them about to become contaminated over the MCL level soon. Water mains are busted every chance they get. You never tested the water. You haven't been testing our waters. What makes you think that you're capable of, or you qualified to do this job? And I know that you're not. That's my question to you. That's the question that I'm quite sure a lot of our citizens would want to know. I don't know that myself.
Trustee Benson.
Let me finish. Our water situation is bad. It's very bad. And for you guys to be water experts, and our water is the way it is, and the infrastructure the way it is, I don't think you know what you're doing. I really don't. So explain to me why should you have this project?
Trustee Benson, we emphatically disagree with your statements.
I'm sure you would.
And the insinuation that we're responsible for Sauk Village's water being contaminated is completely off base and untrue. And we're simply not going to respond to that.
I know you're not, because you cannot respond to it. Let me finish to me. I did not say that you were responsible for it. I said, why is it the way it is? Why have you corrected it if you are water experts? And you're supposed to be experts because you did nothing to the water issue. You done nothing.
Trustee.
I didn't talk when you speak. Okay, now speak. You've done nothing to this water problem.
Trustee Williams, out of order. Trustee Williams, out of order.
Worse, and worse, and worse, since you have been engineering for this firm. If you had any concern about this village, you will step down and allow a real engineering to take care of the water issue problem. That need to be corrected, and you can be You are a water engineering company supposed to be good according to these trustees, but yet our water issue is terribly bad.
Sir, you finished?
Yes, sir.
Trustee Williams.
Number one, I think it's highly inappropriate for anybody, up here to feel the need to badger and yell and raise their voice at a service provider. Because as strongly as Trustee Benson appears to feel about Mr. Zarnick or Mr. Robinson Engineering, I didn't know you changed your name, but as strongly as he feels, 100 times more strongly do I feel about the inaccuracies and just the basic insufficient behavior of certain department heads we have here. And I've stressed that, but I've never not one time raised my voice. So we all need to just bring it back and be confident and calm, cool, and collected. But what I would like to say is just as we had audience members say, and I want to just let Mr. Zarnick know, for those of us who are up here, we know what the process has been. You don't test our water, that's what Public Works is for. We've had IEPA here many, many months ago that were run out of this meeting by Trustee Benson and by certain members of this audience yelling and screaming and being belligerent, stating that the contamination is still unknown. But the contamination could have happened over 30 years ago. We don't know because nobody was sitting there with a camera. I know we have many cameras in the room tonight, but nobody was sitting there eyeing this well to see where the contamination was from. So as a board, not as a trustee, I sincerely apologize for the behavior that you had to put up with. And I really think it's extremely inappropriate that as I'm trying to call for order, I get gaveled up. I get point of order. But we think it's completely appropriate to let Trustee Benson continuously, meeting after meeting after meeting, badger Jim Zarnick. If you think you can do it better, Trustee Benson, put on some gloves so that you can get out there and do it. But you haven't done it. And it all comes back to the fact that it's inappropriate, that there are other research firms that are looking at it. The board doesn't know. I applaud Trustee Hanks for coming up and saying the exact same thing. And if we would have had a special meeting, like I asked for, to talk about these issues, everybody would have been able to come to one table. We would have had the engineer, the attorneys, Kevin, Mohan, Henrietta, everybody who was important, be around that table to have a round table discussion. Instead, we're talking about it in a village board meeting, which is inappropriate. I think we really need to understand that sometimes we have to pull it back. And when a trustee asks for something, I think other trustees in other departments have to realize it's a good idea. And I'm not just saying me, but seriously, almost everybody up here has had a question now about this report. And it all could have taken place if two other trustees would have said we had a special meeting. And with that, again, I think that there needs to be a special meeting. You don't have time to do it tomorrow. I understand, Mr. Mohan, you did email me some reports. I appreciate that. We need to have a special financial update. We should begin working on our budget for the next fiscal year. We are in such disarray, it's absolutely ridiculous. We just finished an audit because the pension board wasn't right, and we couldn't do this because this wasn't right, and we can't get this because that's not right. It's ridiculous, it's unacceptable, and we need to move forward. I still would like a financial meeting, special meeting, by the end of next week. When can that be, board?
Mr. Mayor, it's funny how Trustee Williams and Trustee Hanks open their mouth and have some direction towards me on the tone of my voice. The tone of my voice is the way it is because of the seriousness and the magnitude of the foolishness of this board. Secondly, Trustee Williams and Trustee Hanks have been badgering the village manager consistently every single day who come in this room. Not only her, but all these trustees. Every time she moves 2 foot forward, they try to knock her 5 foot backwards. What is wrong with this board of trustees? Are they concerned about this village? They have some of the citizens behind them doing also some foolish stuff. And we see it here. It's no secret, and they do not care. But to sit there and try to sanction you, you're not going to ever sanction me because I do have the village first. Priority of this village at hand, and not the trustee. So the village comes first, not the trustee. Let this young lady do her job. It's difficult for her to do her job when you are in her office every single day giving her orders. Stay out of her job. Stay out of her face. Let the lady work.
Mr. Mayor. Hold on. You asked a question? Trustee? Okay.
If you're not in her office and she's on the phone, thank God, you go alone. And tell your
Trustee Benson, hold on. Trustee Benson, hold on. Ask your
I
question.
think you're making accusations you have no idea what you're talking about, because I haven't emailed the village manager, I haven't talked to the village manager. I mean, I'm cordial, I said hi George, I go through, but you won't find, anytime I've ever been in her office, I don't think, I might have come to your office since you've been on board maybe twice, asking questions. So, you know, or if there was a mistake or something on the agenda, I might send an email out saying there was a mistake on the agenda. So to make accusations, Mr. Trustee, I think you ought to know your facts first.
Well, when Trustee Williams,
Hold on. You finish, Trustee Hanks.
when Trustee Williams is calling her every single day or asking her questions on email, Trustee Burgess is going to say, that's you. No doubt about it. That's you. No doubt about it. I know this idiot. The bottom line is, let the young lady do her job. It's difficult for her to perform her job when everybody's trying to micromanage her position. You've been doing it ever since 2009. You didn't do it before then. Why are you doing it now? Right. You've been here before then, weren't you, 2009? I'll wait here. Stop.
Hold on.
I'm done with you.
Hold on, Trustee.
I'm done with you.
Hold on, Trustee Hanks. Hold on.
I'm done with you.
You finish?
Yes.
It's good to know he's done wagging his own fence.
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. Burgess.
I don't know what the rest of this board feels, but me, myself personally, I'm not going to sit here and allow a trustee, a village official, to badger, talk about, browbeat, and degrade a person that's worked for this village, a professional vendor. He's done it twice to the lawyers, and he's done it to the engineers. And until this gentleman has a PE behind his name, I don't see where he feels he's qualified to even talk about a person's credentials. But Mr. Mayor, we do get people in this village to come to these board meetings from time to time. Robinson Engineering is a large firm. And to have, and to allow, not to have, but to allow a trustee, a village official, to badger, to tell this man he doesn't know what he's doing, that they were not qualified, that they made the water the way it is, that they didn't know any better, they didn't do any testing, or whatever the case may be, basically saying that they didn't do their job is liable. You got a lawyer sitting right there next to you. Now all you have to do, all you have to do is ask him. He's right there. That's a liable lawsuit if they choose to go that way. Thank God they haven't done that, because this has been done over and over again, not only with Robinson, but with the law firm. And to allow that to happen, Mr. Mayor, I think that's a reflection, not only on yourself, but this board too. I'm not going to be a part of that, to sit here and let a person browbeat in a corporation just because, and it seems like it's personal, just because of whatever it may be, I don't know. But that's not right, Mr. Mayor. And that's not what we're supposed to be here for. The trustees are here for one thing, to hold accountable and to make the money accountable in this village. And that's why we ask questions about the money. But to have someone to question their credentials when they don't have none of their own is not, I don't understand that. And to allow that to happen, I don't understand that also, why that's allowed to happen. Now, if you have the qualification to question someone, then let it be known. Let it be known that you have a PE behind your name, or you're an attorney at law. But to sit here, obviously, all the time, state, meeting after meeting, that Robinson did this, the attorney firm did that, both of them need to be thrown out or whatever. That's not what we're about. I don't want to project that type of, I don't want to project that type of attitude, because, like you said, it's going out on Facebook to see that we can't even get along with our own vendors that we have here. We can't even get along. We have to talk about them at open board meeting with everybody here and rate them across the coast. I think, Mr. Mayor, that something should be done about that. If you don't want to sanction this person when he starts doing that, I think this board needs to, because I know I would be the first one, because that's not right. Not at another person, not at a person like that.
A couple things. We have an executive session. We get them every matter out here, I think, except for real estate, that should be in the back, should be in that executive session. We spent over an hour and 10 minutes or so on the subject matter. Can we please get back to the agenda? And there is a whole section here. We go in the executive meeting and discuss the topic. But let's get back to our meeting and go on through the department heads. And hopefully, sometime between now and midnight, we'll get out of here.
To the agenda, as trustee Myron states, since 2009, this trustee board has dictated and has browbeaten every one of you, except for the exception of trustee Gillette, because he was not here, but now he's doing it now, has browbeaten all your appointees out in the public at the board meetings, and yet they have the audacity to sit here like they so innocent. Shame.
He doesn't have family, does he? Question.
I asked a question to have a special meeting for finances. I addressed that question to the board. One trustee spoke up, not answering my question, but I would like to know if any other trustee, if the mayor wants to call it, you can call it, you can do it by yourself. You didn't speak up, so I'm not sure if you're going to do it. If not, are there not two other trustees who feel that it's important enough?
I'll step up.
Yes, we do. We need a meeting.
Okay, that's 3 trustees.
May 29th.
May 29th works for me, village clerk, write it up, the 3 trustees and so on will sign it.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
When is that on the line? I'm out of town.
Mr. Mayor, that
that Tuesday, I won't be able to attend, because I know I won't be back.
That's a holiday weekend.
That's the week, the day after.
Memorial Day.
Is Wednesday, are you all available on Wednesday? Because I sent this out with email and I got no responses. And including the village manager and the mayor. Everybody was included on that, so it wasn't.
Well, don't say you didn't get a response. I did send a response to you.
No, you didn't respond to that. You responded to the email that I sent out about the fact that the village manager, I had heard that the village manager told department heads that they could not speak to us. That was the email you responded to. I'm asking about a financial update. You say that you will be out of town, the village manager states she'll be out of town. I asked, is Wednesday appropriate? Would Wednesday work for either of you?
Mr. Mayor, that's not on the agenda. Why are we discussing that? It does have to be on the agenda.
You're available.
I take them back.
Okay,
Tuesday
will you be
night.
back on Wednesday? Okay. May 30th, 7 p.m. If the village clerk would please write that up. We'll decide what the building will be called.
Okay, before we move on, let me just say to Mr. Zernick and his company, we've always worked well with the company, and I spoke not only public, but I also spoke private with you that I was on board with what you and your company is doing for this building. And nothing has changed with that. But in this same matter, if another information or proposal come in, I don't see no reason. I think it's only business that he will be able, that the village will be able to look at it and maybe even share it with you and ask you a question about it. I think that's only proper and only business with it. But I still say, just like you say, let's move on. You're moving in the direction that the village is asking you to move on, and we're on board with it. Okay. All right. With that said, let's move to the village treasurer, Ms. Carmichael.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Police and Firemen's Pension Board are both currently in the process of getting their audits completed, and once that's completed, I will update the board on that, and that ends my report.
All right, thank you. The village attorney, Mr. McGrath.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay. The village engineer, Mr. Zernick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, there's a pre-construction meeting tomorrow for the 2012 road reconstruction program. That's 217th Street and Clyde Avenue. Hopefully construction will be starting next month for that. Also, we'll be submitting the village's annual stormwater report to the IEPA. That's due 1st of June. And then finally, Kevin and I met with IDOT last week to discuss details of their proposed improvements to the intersection of 394 and Sauk Trail. It's not significant, but the improvements involve addition of a turn lane on the north side of the intersection and deepening of the existing turn lanes elsewhere. The only significant impact to the village is the need to reinstall the emergency vehicle preemption, which the village paid for a number of years ago, and to maintain that would cost the village about $6,900. So that's something that you guys are going to have to think about, whether you want to spend that or not to keep that at that intersection. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Mayor, I'd like to ask Ms. Turner a question. Were you aware that that Rockland Engineering was meeting like that?
Yes, sir, I was aware, and typically Kevin will attend those meetings with him in reference to street and transportation.
Okay, did Rockland Engineering get approval for the board to meet like that? They didn't inform the board that? I didn't know about it. Answer the question. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Answer the question. He did not answer the question. I don't know why the board's not having him before he meet with anybody up to the board first. Yeah, it's okay for him, but not for the manager. I have a problem, Mr. Mayor, big problem. Thank you. I'm done.
All right, let's move on to